Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, Facebook friends and fans. It's Dr. Brandy B, your triple boarded child and adolescent psychiatrist. We are here today with the Car Chronicles version of our Focus on It Friday. I wasn't going to leave you all hanging, but I had to step out at this time for a little bit to run a quick errand. But I wanted to come over and let you all know a little bit of a message. So we are here. Hello, Melanie Long. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Come on over. Hello, Priscilla, Auntie Julia. Thank you all for watching. Come on in. We are talking about focus on your health today. COVID edition. And I haven't really spoken about COVID in the way that I will today, but I think it's important. And so I have taken a step myself, and I wanted to just share with you all the experience. Hello, Auntie Rosalind. Thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining and for coming in on this, I guess it's sunny, but a little bit dreary Friday afternoon. So yes, hello, Dr. Andrea. Thank you for joining. Hello, Miss Sadie. Thank you for joining, or Auntie Sadie. I guess you got promoted a couple of weeks ago. Hello, Miss Nicole McCann from our Eastern time zone in or about Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Miss Crystal Latham. Thank you for joining. Hello. Miss Crystal says hello, Dr. RB, and Auntie Rosa says hello, beautiful niece, and I say hello to both of you. We're going to give about one more minute, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. I promise I will not keep you all on today. I know I say that every week, but today we are going to actually keep our promise. Hello, Sissy Keena Bailey and Sis Erica. Thank you all for joining us. Good afternoon. Dr. Brandy B. Sissy says good afternoon. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am Dr. Brandy B, your triple board certified child and adolescent psychiatrist, board certified pediatrician, as well as board certified adult psychiatrist. And so I appreciate you all coming in and sharing in this time with me. I know it's lunchtime for some, nap time for others, and it's just hanging out time for a few others of you. Yes, I'm in the car, but no, I am not driving. Fred is driving me, so you don't have to worry about me getting into any wrecks because I'm talking to you and driving. Today, though, I want to talk about Focus Forward. You know, we're going to be using for the entire year focus, focusing, getting clarity, getting the next step, staying on track. And so we want to talk about focusing on your health, and we want to talk about COVID or coronavirus 19. Y'all know we have almost been in the house for a full year. I remember that Friday the 13th of March is the day that we got the news that something was happening. I left the office on a Friday. I was on my way to a wedding that Saturday. And on my way to that wedding, we got notification that instead of schools, being shut down after the end of the week, they were shut down immediately. And so that has been our lives. We have been in the house. We've been masking up. We have been wearing our, washing our hands. So staying our distance, washing our hands, and wearing our masks. That's what we've been doing. But still, unfortunately, 400,000 people plus have died. That's a lot of people. And I'm sure that everybody that's here today has experienced a loss in one way or another with someone who has been affected by coronavirus. And so what I want to talk about today is ways that we can protect ourselves in the future. Now, we all pray for a cure. Lord, let there be a cure. Lord, let there be a cure. And it is here, right? And so the reason that I stress today that I'm a board certified pediatrician is because I actually have, so all of my psychiatry colleagues go to medical school. We've talked about that extensively. So they are MDs or DOs. And so they are medical doctors, just like your surgeons, just like your OBGYNs, just like your internal medicine and your pediatricians. But I actually went through a pediatrics residency and went through the board certification process. And so if it were not enough, I feel more than qualified to speak to you today about just some coronavirus tips. Now, I don't want you to go and think I am a master of coronavirus. I am not. But I can get you to that person if you have some detailed or deep questions. But I do just want to make sure that everybody understands that a vaccine exists. You're looking at me today, and I think I look pretty healthy. I've not had any problems, but I am one day post my second vaccine. So yesterday at about 3:30, I received my second vaccine, and I'm still feeling pretty good. Now, my arm is sore. But I am doing well, and I am doing well enough to be before you here for Focus on a Friday, because I feel like this is an important topic. Many people are scared of the vaccine for any of a number of reasons, and I want to encourage you, to just kind of dispel a couple of myths. One of them is that it came about too soon. I want you all to know that the coronavirus vaccine, if you look on your Lysol cans and many of your other cans, they will say that it is effective against coronavirus. And we knew this back in March. So somebody might say, well, how in the world how do we even know about coronavirus? That's because it is not new. They had begun the work on a vaccine many years ago when the first SARS or coronavirus came about. And that had to be halted because of funding. So when the coronavirus 19 came about, 19 for the year 2019, that is when they ramped up and picked up the production of the vaccine right where they left off. They already had the mRNA, which probably means nothing to you all, just fancy shop talk, but they picked up right where they were, and so now we have a safe vaccine. So somebody said, well, the FDA has not approved it. Well, they have approved it for emergency use, and that is why so many of us have been able to get the vaccine. Many people now have had their second vaccine of the two-part scheduling, and so we are still doing well. I want to talk a little bit about why it's important for you as an individual to get the vaccine if you fall within the category of those people who can get it. I want you to first understand, though, that getting the vaccine protects you. It protects you. So somebody asked me the question, how long after I get the vaccine can I stop wearing my mask? And the short of the long is you can't. Keep wearing your mask. And so why is that important? I guess you're probably thinking, what in the world is the point of me getting the thing if I still got to wear a mask, wash my hands, socially distance? It is because people like my kids who are too young to get the vaccine, and then all of the other people who have not yet been vaccinated, you can still get infected even though you've had the vaccine. You just won't get sick. And then you go around them and you give it to them, and you can make them sick or make them even die. So we do not want that to happen. We do not want you to get a false sense of security or like, hey, I got it going on now, because you can still get infected and you can still pass it on to others. You just won't know that you're sick because you won't get sick. So you won't know that you're infected. But it's still important to protect your minors, protect other people who have not been yet fully vaccinated, because whether they chose not to or they just are not in the group of people who it has come readily available for them. Either way, it is okay. I'm going to step out now. Change scenes just a bit. All right. So I want you to know that you're still going to need to wear your mask, wash your hands, and socially distance even after you get your coronavirus vaccine. After you get the first dose of the vaccine, you're going to have about 50% of your immunity against it. So it's very important that you go back and get the second dose so that you are fully vaccinated. Pregnant women, they are saying that you should get it, and we just don't know what would happen if you got coronavirus while you were pregnant. So you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself and that you are protecting your unborn baby. Let me see, what other things have I heard? Also, some people have talked about they knew of someone who passed out when they got the shot. There's a such thing called vasovagal syncope. Syncope is a fancy word for fainting. And there are some people who just at the sight of a needle, at the sight of blood, or at the sight of these things being used on you or someone else, you will faint. So I'm sure that when that person fainted, they got back up after some time, they went back on and they did well. There are some talks and articles about people who maybe got coronavirus within a week of being vaccinated. I want to make sure that you understand me very clearly, that you are not receiving the coronavirus, okay? And so if you got coronavirus after being vaccinated, that means you either had it when you went in to get your vaccination, or that means that you became infected shortly after getting it, which can be possible. Sheikah says we ain't letting up on masks. Absolutely not. Lots of talk about breastfeeding, moms not taking it. Huh? Oh, okay. My mother-in-law wants to hear it. Hello. Alrighty. So we're talking about, I'll give a summary now. Jeremy and Dia said that this is very good information. Vicky Bowling, hello. Kristen Miller, thank you for watching. Mary Hinkle, thank you for watching. My First Lady, Miss Young, Barbara Young, thank you for watching. Miss Patricia Bell, good afternoon. Amber Green, hello. Mama Diane, Tunji, Y. Joyner Floyd, thank you for watching. And Miss Lynn Tingle, thank you for watching. So getting the vaccine, you will need to get both parts of the vaccine to be fully vaccinated. To be fully vaccinated, you will need to get both parts. So make sure that you go back, and make sure that you continue to wear your masks. Hello, Marilyn Rice. Thank you. We've got teachers checking in today. Thank you, teachers, for what you all are doing. You all are keeping our kids going, and we really appreciate you for doing what you're doing. I read somewhere that all teachers are teachers of the year this year, and I couldn't agree more. So thank you for everything that you're doing. Hello, Renee. How are you? Thank you for joining from the Anniston area. Thank you. Hello, Miss Sand. We've got another educator among us. She says, I just want them to call me so I can go get mines. Yes, mines, she said. That's right, because we've got to get our teachers vaccinated if we want to be able to go into the classroom successfully, because remember, the children cannot take it. All right, so you've got one vaccine, you've got two vaccines. All right, and the Pfizer is approved down to 16 years old, and the Moderna down to 18. So that means that my kids, probably most of your kids, your grandkids, cannot get it. So we have to make sure that we are protecting them. If you're coming on the call late, I want you to know that getting the vaccine does not mean that you cannot get the disease, right? So you can still become infected. And so you're probably asking, well, what in the heck am I getting it for then if I can still become infected? Because you won't get sick and die. The downside, though, is that you can still pass it on to others. Those people who have refused to get it, those people who have not had their time to come up and get it, those people who are minors, those people who have whatever medical issues that would prevent them from taking the vaccine. At the very least, though, we do have a responsibility. Oh, let me go back real quick. Let me talk about the sickness, the illness that people will talk about, because you're going to hear it. And y'all know I like to give you up-to-date, raw, accurate information. Let's talk about the sickness and illness that some people say that they experience after getting their second dose. So if you know anything about the immune system, we have innate immune, which means that you just got it. Skin is a part of your innate immune system. There are some things that cannot get into your body and attack it just because you have a good layer of skin. And that's why the skin is so important, and we must protect it, because it is our first layer of defense against all sorts of badness. So make sure that you're taking care of your skin. And then we have the more active form of the immune system, and that is what any vaccine does. So what you're doing is giving something to the body that makes the body say, aha, I know you don't belong here. And then the body calls up all the troops and says, let's go get them. So the first time you get it, you may get the first vaccine, the first portion, you may feel a little arm soreness, but that's usually about it. Some people get sick after they get the second one, and guess what's happening? All the troops have been called in. They are saying, this is foreign, this is not right, go get it. And so if you do get sick, it's only going to be a day or two. You're not going to feel very well, perhaps. My arm is sore. For those of you that missed it, I got mine yesterday, my second dose yesterday at about 3:30, and I just have some arm soreness. It seems that it's a little bit sore than it was the first time, but really I can't tell. But I'm up and about and not in the bed sick. So, but even if it were, I was prepared for that because I knew that meant my immune system was kicking coronavirus's booty. So no big deal. I want to go back though and tell you this one last thing. We all have a responsibility, much like when you're driving down the road. There are some things that we do that are rules because they protect us, but they also protect the other people. Red lights. If you don't stop at a red light, you're going to hurt somebody else. Stop signs, the same. Speed limits. If you go over the speed limit, you're going to hurt somebody else, potentially yourself. Driving while you're under the influence of alcohol or any other substance is illegal because not only could you hurt yourself, but you could hurt and kill someone else. And the same is with coronavirus and your masks. Whatever your thoughts are about coronavirus and whether or not it's real, I want you to know that a lot of people have died, 400,000 plus. That's a lot of people that have died. And you can do a very, very, very small thing just to wear your mask and to protect you and to protect them because you don't know what they have and they don't know what you have either. So we want to make sure that we're wearing our masks. We want to make sure that we're washing our hands. And we want to make sure that when we are around someone who does not live with us, that we are 6 feet apart from them, still masked. This is why it is so important, y'all, that, we may still be in the house for Easter. I don't know. But I can tell you about people who got together on Thanksgiving and somebody died. I can tell you about somebody who got together on Christmas and somebody died. We don't want that to happen to you. Let me tell you about one other thing. I'm all about busting up myths. So a lot of people will say, well, he didn't die from coronavirus. He died from a heart attack. Okay, let me tell you about that. If there is a bear in the woods and the bear had a broken leg. Okay, I hadn't thought about this story very deep. Just go with me. Hang on. The bear had a broken leg. The bear was walking around minding his business with his broken leg, and then all of a sudden there was a tree in the middle of the woods that caused him to then fall, break his other leg. A stick went through that leg, and then he ended up in the hospital, and now he's got to have surgeries, and they didn't turn him, and so he's got bed sores, and the bed sores caused him to get infected, and then the infection led to him having death, led to him dying. So the most immediate thing would be to say, well, he died from the infection, and that's true. But were it not for the tree, the branch that he tripped over, he would have just been going along, living his life with a broken leg, because people typically don't die from those. And the same is with coronavirus. Yes, people die most immediately from either a stroke, a heart attack, or whatever else the case may be, but kidney failure, whatever the case may be. But it is coronavirus and not their obesity, their diabetes, their high blood pressure that is the most immediate cause. You can live a pretty decent long life having all those things well into your 50s, 60s, or beyond. If you're healthy and take care of yourself. But if you encounter coronavirus, it's a gamble. And if you know me, you know I shop and spend my money. I don't gamble my money, and I'm certainly not going to gamble with my life. And that's what I look at it as. I look at it as a gamble. Yeah, you could get it. Yeah, you could get better from it, or yeah, you could die, right? And so even the people who get it and they test negative, people now are 6 months into still having fogginess, means they can't think clearly. They're having headaches. They're having sharp shooting pains through their limbs and their extremities, and some people still have a cough even months later, and they're still negative. So what I want you to understand is that just because you are alive doesn't mean necessarily that you thrive. So the best thing that you can do is to protect yourself, protect those young, innocent people around you, protect your students, protect your loved ones, protect your neighbors. I mean, because at this point, we have all got to look out for each other. I know people are going into restaurants. That is your personal privilege, but I want to let you know that restaurants are a risk. Your face mask must come off in order for you to eat. The rule is that children up to 2 years old do not need to wear a mask, and that is because children up to 2 years old are obligate oral breathers, which means that they have to breathe through their mouth. Why is that? Because their nares, their nose, are extremely narrow. So now if you put something over their face that blocks their mouth and also their very narrow nose, you may have problems. But I want you to know that your 9-month-old, your 22-month-old can still get coronavirus, maybe do very well, maybe die like a kid I saw in the news, but they could give it to everyone in the house. So don't be so cool and don't be so calm when you're walking around in Walmart with your 2-year-old who, according to the law, or less than 2-year-old, according to the law, they're appropriately fine to not have on their mask. So somebody may say, well, I saw you without your baby didn't have on a mask when y'all went and took a picture, and I'm glad you saw that picture. It had special meaning to us, but I was very adamant that everybody in that picture kept their mask on at all times. Why? Because my less than 2-year-old was exposed. And that leads me to one last point. I swear it's gonna be my last point. You have to explain nothing about your choices to anybody. You are responsible for taking care of yourself, and you're responsible for taking care of your minor people under you and also your elderly, everybody in your house. So if somebody gets mad because you say, no, I'm not coming, no, I'm not going, I don't feel comfortable with that, well, then you just gonna have to take it up with them on the other side. But I think Miss Krista asked last week, when people try to bully you, don't be bullied. Don't be bullied. It's okay to say no. Remember, we have a whole conversation we did about the benefits of saying no, and your very life may depend on it. So in summary, let me just tell you, coronavirus vaccine is out. It is safe. You're looking at someone who is now one day, probably, I don't know, I guess I'm about 22 hours or so away from getting my second vaccine, with coronavirus vaccine. I'm doing very well. I'm out and about. Of course, I'm in my vehicle, so I don't have on a mask, but otherwise you don't catch me without one. So you need to get both parts. If you're unsure about whether or not you can take the vaccine, please consult your physician, because remember, I am not your physician. I am not giving you medical advice. And even if I am your physician or your child's physician in this forum, I am not giving you medical advice. Make sure that you go through whatever the channel is and whatever the contact information you have to contact me in the appropriate setting. This is very general information. But it's safe. It's not a race thing. It's not a party thing. I don't care what happened to somebody back in the day. And just for clarification, everybody wants to talk about Tuskegee. Tuskegee, they withheld treatment. Those people already had syphilis. They did not give them syphilis. They already had it, and then they withheld treatment for it. This is very different. Everybody is getting the same treatment. You've seen your current president get it, your current vice president get it, your outgoing president get it, and your outgoing vice president get it. So, it's safe. It is safe. We are not dying. And make sure that when you Google something, when somebody comes to you with any information, run it by somebody that you trust. It doesn't have to be me, but run it. But there are several people who are more smarter than I in this area. But make sure that, yeah, you may fall out. Yeah, your feet may tingle. But did you die? There is a famous movie where the man says, but did you die? And if you didn't die, listen, if this whole arm fell off, but I could still pick my kids up with my right and still be good, I'm all right with that. But that's just me. Maybe everybody else didn't have that level of trust in the medical system, and I get that. But we've got to look to somebody that we trust and do what is best for us. Let me go over here and see what everybody is saying. Keena says she got her second dose Wednesday and no side effects, just arm sore. Yeah, this arm soreness is real. Miss Destiny, thank you for watching us. Auntie Rosa says, thanks for this very good information. I'm trying my best to get mine. And when your number comes up, don't be talking about, well, I wanted this brand or I wanted that brand. Get the brand that is there for you, and you need to stick with that brand. So if you get the Pfizer the first time, you do need to get the Pfizer the second. But from what I understand, at some facilities, once they pass you for the first round, they stop taking first round people and start with the second round. So you need to be very sure that when you pass it up, that is what you want to do, because it may be months before you have an opportunity to get it again. Priscilla says she was fine with her first shot. Miss Sadie says very good information. And I actually have a link for those that live in Jefferson County. I'm going to post that link for you. That's Jefferson County, Alabama. So that you can go ahead and find if there is a facility. There's several facilities that are giving them. Make sure you find out where that is and get yours. Miss Latina, Cousin Latina, hello. Miss Cynthia Brown, hello. Miss Jessie Dixon, or Mr. Jesse Dixon. I think that's probably going to be a lady spelled I-E. Hello. April Weatherby, hello. Miss Marilyn Rice says that is a great explanation. Thank you, girl. Miss Crystal says she's sorry she's late. We are just so excited to see you. Miss Patricia Bell, thank you for this important information. Auntie Sada says amen. Miss Yvette Sneeze says love this. Alfreda Robinson, thank you for joining. Miss Sadie Gresham says, which vaccine did you get? I got the Pfizer, but I'm going to be honest, Miss Sadie, I didn't know what I was going to get, except I was going to get the vaccine. When I got there, they said we're giving out Pfizer, and I said okay. So I was completely open to whatever they had, because I don't want to die. My big boy told me this morning, Mama, I don't want you to die. And I said, well, baby, I hope I'm not going to do it anytime soon. All right, I'm doing all that I can to make sure I protect myself. Just hearing your voice is calming. Oh, thank you, Krista. You are so very nice. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. Sam says, no, just stop Googling and ask professionals. Now, that's some of the best advice ever, Miss Sam Robinson. But you know people are going to Google. And there are some Google, listen, let me tell you something about Google. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it, okay? So whatever you're looking for, you can find it. You need to be very careful when you're Googling to make sure that what you have Googled and what you're reading is reliable, evidence-based medicine. You know, I talk about that all the time. Auntie Julia says, great information like always. Miss Carnisha Thetford, thank you for joining. All right, y'all, so I'm going to get out of here. I love y'all. I want y'all to be safe. We are going to make it out of this. I told y'all, I think last week, I wept. No, was that last week? What's the day? I don't know. When was the 13th? I think that was last week. Anyway, one of my girlfriends, Dr. Belinda Graham in Atlanta, check her out if you have any asthma or allergy needs. But anyway, she sent me a picture of a Delta and an AKA having lunch, y'all, and I looked at that picture and I wept. We have been locked up almost a year. Touching someone outside of our homes is just not something that we can readily do anymore. But we've got to stay strong. You've got to not get discouraged. You cannot let your guard down, because coronavirus is still out there and it's still present, and they are still talking about new variants that are coming. You know, as I hear about it, and I keep up on all of this because I want to be the voice of reason. I want to be the voice of truth. So if you come to me, I'm going to either be telling you what I know, because it's evidence-based in its medicine, or I have talked to other people who I trust. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to get somebody to come before you who can give you the answer. All right, y'all be safe out there. Wear your mask, wash your hands, even if you've had the shot. And if you missed why you need to wear your mask, it is because you can still, even with the vaccine, become infected and pass it on to people who have not been. You can get infected, but you won't be sick. And that's a scary situation to be in, because you can give all that love to somebody who does not even know. All right, y'all, until next time, I am Dr. Brandy B, your triple boarded pediatrician, child and adolescent psychiatrist, as well as adult psychiatrist. Through my Facebook Lives, my books, and my webinars, I help mom, dads, and just concerned people get factual information that they need so that they can live happy, healthy lives to the fullest. All right, cover your nose. That's right, Erica Harris said cover your nose. Y'all know the nose is the new private part, so you don't want anybody to see your other ones, and we don't want to see this one either. Cover it up. If you come near me with your nose out, I'm backing up. No apologies needed, no explanations needed. I hope you're not offended, because I'm not going to be offended. I'm getting away from you. I don't want to see your nose. All right, y'all be good, stay safe, buckle up, and cover up. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.